Josh Taylor, a fight we were really looking forward to, a fight that needed to happen 2 years after it was very, very controversial when Josh Taylor defended his world titles against Jack Catterall February 2 years ago. And I think almost universally people felt that Jack Catterall won the fight that night, but obviously Josh Taylor walked away with his belts intact. It's off again. Some kind of problem behind the eye of Josh Taylor. He's revealed that he'd been looked at prior to the fight being signed, and his eye isn't in fit state, and he's got eyesight problems. I don't know whether this is long-term or not, but the fight on April the 27th will now not happen at Leeds, which would have sold out 13,000.
Yep, I think they're talking about they've rescheduled for May the 25th, I believe. That is the new date, and it's a concern. You know, Josh Taylor had to pull out of this fight through eye problems. He was actually in the studio last week. He come down when they announced the fight. Was it last week? The week before last. I interviewed him. He was in good spirits.
Where they were forced to shake hands twice.
That was hard. That was hard. But I interviewed them both actually afterwards. They both wanted it for so many different reasons, really. You know, I think that Josh Taylor wanted to right the wrongs of the last fight. And
even though he won.
So, exactly. But
paper.
I think he wanted to put that to bed, and Jack Catterall obviously wanted to go over old ground. Interestingly, Jack Catterall said, "Listen, I wanted that fight. It didn't have to be at 140 because I know that we all know there's no secret. Josh Taylor struggled to make 140. I think he's grown out.
That's the jeopardy for him, isn't it?
I think he's grown out for 140.
Yeah.
I think if the fight happened at 147, I actually favour Josh Taylor to win the fight, but because it's down at 140, we saw what Jack Catterall done in the last fight. I thought when the fight was made again at 140, and I don't know whether that was Josh Taylor's ego saying, "Yep, let's go over old ground here. Let me put that right." But bad decision, I think, to make the fight at that weight because you got to go with Catterall at that weight, and it was a fight we was looking so forward to, weren't we? Because
bitter rivalry, grudge fight.
Catterall deserves the rematch as well after that.
May he possibly have? He's got a very cultured style. Southpaw, doesn't give anything away. Goes up the gears very carefully. Does he potentially just have Taylor's number?
Stylistically, that's what happens. You get that with you get that with certain fighters where you struggle with styles. And
he's very good in the mid range, isn't he?
He's very good. The timing's good. He punches in bunches.
Yeah.
He controls the space very well. And I think Josh Taylor was surprised by that. Maybe underestimated him going in. He couldn't turn it around. He couldn't get going himself. Josh Taylor. And like I say, I think that Gareth is down to making 140. I think he's way too big for 140. He's outgrown it. And I think that it was inevitable that he was going to move up to 147, but decided to take this fight at 140. So, it was a fight that we wanted to see. I just hope that Josh Taylor gets himself better and that he gets cleared medically to be able to go through the fight. But the fight seems to be cursed, doesn't it? I mean, it's been made off now a few times.
So what I'm going to do, as we go up to the break, is I'm going to throw some other 140-pound fighters at you. And I want to know, as I was coming in on my motorbike today, I was thinking, I'm going to ask Spencer these questions because you're the man who will really be able to discern and put your scalpel through this. Josh Taylor, prime Josh Taylor, against a prime Ricky Hatton, 140 pounds.
Wow, what a beautiful fight that would have been. What a beautiful fight that would have been. A prime Josh Taylor versus a prime Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton may have just been too strong and may have been a little bit too bullish, but Josh Taylor's tough himself, we've seen that. We saw that when he went over. That's a great fight. That is a great fight. You've got the stylish technician of Josh Taylor and Ricky Hatton's bullish style.
Okay, so you're picking Ricky Hatton.
I'll probably lean towards Ricky, yeah.
Prime Josh Taylor against a prime Amir Khan.
Josh Taylor.
So you rate him very, very highly.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Very, very
no getting away from that. And I think that, do you know what I think was the downfall of Josh Taylor? I think that he stuck around at 140 for too long. And I think that that's what it was. Because a lot of people are asking, is he on the decline? We haven't seen the best from him. I know through struggling to make weight what it does to you. I know what it takes away from you. It probably takes 20-30% away from the fighter. And I look at Josh, and when I saw him at the weigh-in at the last time with Catterall and stuff, I looked at him and I thought, you don't look good, mate.
He's also nearly 6 foot tall as well.
He's so big for, for that weight.
He's 30 now, so... because there was talk for a long time about him going up to 147 to fight Terence Crawford at one point, if you recall.
Yes.
And that would have been an amazing fight. When Josh was ranked kind of 6th in the world in the pound-for-pound rankings by Ring Magazine at the time, that Crawford fight was a real tease because we know that he had durability, power, strength, grit, and he was being compared to the great Ken Buchanan.
Yeah, and we never know what he would have been like at 147. He may have been better at 147 because I think it was no secret he was always struggling to make 140, and he did look terrible at weigh-ins. And he recovered, he put on a lot of weight, but like I say, that started showing in his performances, that making weight. That's what I put it down to. It's nothing to do with undertraining or Josh Taylor being on the decline. I think it's purely down to the weight.
Do you think who would have won? I need to throw this in there as well. Who would have won prime Ricky Hatton and prime Amir Khan, by the way, while we're on that? We nearly got that fight, yes. Remember?
I'm going to go Ricky Hatton. And I just think that a prime Ricky Hatton, when you look at the way, where do we go? 2005, when he beat Costas Yu that night, you looked at that and you go, he just ground him down. And I think that's what he would have done to, someone like Amir.